All right, I'm sitting with Mr. David Zeppieri, the Chief Information Officer from the Overseas Private Investment Corporation. Dave, why don't you give me just a brief rundown about your presentation that you just gave?
Okay. Well, we had a panel consisting of three CIO equivalents. Two were from the private sector, two were from government. And what we were trying to do was share best practices in terms of how do you perform collaboration within your organization. And when I use the term collaboration, it was really focused on business alignment. So, the CIO gets the purse and all the money. The people in the lines of business want to know, how are you helping me when you spend that money? So in order to do that, you have to collaborate. And we kind of came up with some techniques on, how do you sell that value proposition to make sure they understand the money I'm spending aligns with their priorities in the business. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay, and what's one thing you would like you wanted the attendees to walk away from with your presentation?
Okay, I think the main takeaway is that it's not so much the technical tools and how you implement and tactically execute on that good idea. It's actually going back to the soft skills of holding hands, kind of like customer relationship management.
Okay.
Hey, let's go back and talk to the customer. Don't email. You know what I mean? So from a CIO perspective, I'm usually a glorified marketeer. And I think you're better at it if you have a personal relationship and you understand their priorities. Because if you don't, you're not going to make them. You know what I mean? It's just like a GPS from point A to point B. And so the main takeaway there, I feel, is just kind of get back to your stakeholders, get to know them, establish a relationship, and manage it.
And Dave, is this your first GTRA council meeting?
I'm on the board.
You're on the board?
So I'm on the board, but this is the first time I've actually come to an event, and actually the first time I spoke on a panel. So it's been very enlightening. It's fun.
What's your overall the best value of the council meeting so far?
I think the best value is how we were forced to engage with people at different levels. For example, even at dinner, I had name tags. They were moving me around like cattle. A little offensive at times, but I tell you what, it was great. Because I got to meet a ton of people. And knowledgeable people. So it was I don't know, they took down the barriers. So the communication barriers and the intimate session, how close you could get to somebody, even yourself, with a little off, social activities and, the blitz of the day. I mean, and it was intense. We got here Sunday early, put in a long day. Yesterday was very intense, but I think I enjoyed the intimacy associated with the social interaction with my peers.
What do you think the one thing us at GTRA might be able to do differently or maybe tweak a little bit?
I don't know. I had mentioned this to Parham, and that's why I think this time, for the first time, we've engaged CIOs and chief technology officers, normally at the senior executive service level in government, so it's another echelon. And he explained to me, hey, we're focused on enterprise architecture and security. I'm saying kind of round out the thrust. You know what I mean? People work in different swim lanes, but your job is to holistically, how do you connect the dots? So, that would be the one thing I would tell the board as well as himself as a takeaway. If you go back and you look at this agenda, and did we miss some of the dots? And I think, we still have a slight gap, but it's improving.
And what session, aside from yourself or networking or maybe just by chance meeting, really stuck out in your mind the past couple of days?
I think the focus on security. Naturally, to me, that's a pain point. I keep getting legislative mandates on how I'm supposed to execute and spend dollars to be FSMA compliant. But day in and day out, a CIO doesn't really understand those threats and vulnerabilities, kind of like a high-level SWOT analysis. I left here slightly educated. You got some powerful people in here that have lived that paradigm, even in the Department of Defense, and they know their stuff. And, I don't plug vendors, but you've had some good vendors here, too, that, didn't really upsell me on their tools. They really wanted to know our requirements. And again, that's different. A CIO, and you see vendors, I go the other way. I kind of run. But here, I didn't get the full court press associated with selling me a damn tool. They really wanted to know, hey, what's your problems? And then let me tell you if I can address that gap. That's unique. It was, enjoyable.